Hello everyone and welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about zero ticks. And if you're wondering what a zero tick is, it's basically a pulse that is so fast that a piston will instantly extend and instantly retract. Meaning you can, for example, make an instant T flip-flop. If you look at this one. So I've lined up some monostables. I've lined up elevators, two different sorts, and some experiments. I'm gonna go through them in order. Let's start with the cool stuff. So we have two elevators, one that pushes blocks up and one that retracts them. And let's start with this one. This one has the unique capability of pulling a sand up straight. And let's see it in action. And it'll do that in the end because it doesn't continue. You can of course have several in the loop. Yeah, so how does it work, you may think? Well, basically, let's see. It'll zero tick this piston, retract, zero tick this piston, retract, and that's what it does. Nothing more than that, and it's a repeatable pattern. Quite big, but yeah, the Gunmaster made most of this redstone. Yeah, I might have helped, not sure. It was a long time ago I made it. Yeah, so that's that elevator. I'm gonna try something. Of course not. Anyways, this elevator will push blocks up, and it's doing it really damn fast. I think it's 1 tick per block, and it's faster than you can fly in creative. So let's try and race with this block. Yeah, that's how fast that is. Let's see how it works before trying more stuff. This is one slice. It can use some delay. It doesn't need to be instant everywhere because it still needs to be delayed. So here's a zero tick generator pushing this block, this piston out here, zero ticks. Then at the same tick, because this piston extends instantly, powering this instantly and depowering this instantly, it'll zero tick this location as well. So if we take a look at that in action, you'll see that it'll do that. So let's try it again. Yeah, and that's how this works. It's just staggered zigzag like this, so it's easy to repeat. So let's try some other cool stuff. You can, for example, elevate a lamp and keep it lit all the way up. Oh, yeah, it derped there. It's not entirely stable. You see, it'll do this when it derps. Anyways, what else can we try? A rail we can try, but you'll see what happens. You may think, what the hell, but this is a ghost, sadly, so no real use for that. I've tried a lot of attempts to elevate anvils, but that was very hard, or I didn't manage in any way, so yeah. Not sure if it's possible. I'm gonna leave this world downloadable so you can try for yourself if you find a cool way. So yeah, that's the elevators. So on to the second coolest thing. This is a method of transporting a block instantly four blocks away, and this YouTuber called Definitive showed this some 5 months ago, where he moved it 3 times, and I managed to add another one. It's really hard to stagger this more. Me and the Gunmaster have tried a lot to have a repeatable pattern, but that is very hard. So this is what we came up with, or I came up with after some testing, and it'll do this. Instant. From here to here, Certix. Or over there, of course. Let's see it a few more times, it's so cool. Pretty loud, so many pistons at the same time. And basically, if you want to do this yourself, the easiest way is to Certic the first piston, and as well another piston that will carry a signal to the next one, which is this piston here. And that will also be an instant monostable here. And yep, this one will pulse then, so there, from there to there. And this one also pushes out a piston that triggers the next one here. I'm gonna go over these monostables later. So yeah, it's basically chained like that, so it go from bam 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 bam. And yeah, pretty cool to see. No real use for it, unless someone finds a repeatable pattern, but even with that I'm not sure how useful it would be. Anyways, I'm gonna go over the monostables now, and yeah, so let's begin with the first in line. Here's a design that gives a zero tick on a dust form, or yeah, instantly, so no repeaters needed or anything. So let's see it in action. I think it is stable in all directions and stuff, like I don't think there's a spot where a piston won't fire. So yeah, that's good, I guess. So how you build it is basically this piston instantly disconnects these two, or connects them, I mean. Then this piston instantly depowers this piston, which instantly depowers this dust, because it retracts, and that will somehow make a zero tick because of the piston delays, how they are coded, not sure why. Yeah, that's one design I came up with. Here's a design Definif came up with 5 months ago. It's it's indirectly powering this one, but powering this one, and that will make these connect, and this dust here will instantly power this piston, so it goes here and depowering that dust, so it'll form a zero tick. But as you can see, it's not really reliable. There's some spots where it won't work, and you need this piece of dust sometimes, and sometimes you don't, which is quite weird. So that's why I had to make my own version here. Yeah, and even if you do some weird stuff like this, it'll behave differently. So keep that in mind if you're building this design. So yeah, that's how it looks. Anyways, here's a old directional design, which is also Certix. A Certic, it's instant. Not sure if it is directional or locational, it just works in some places. It was stable in one patch, but then Mojang was, nah, it shouldn't be, and now it isn't. And that's that. So you could use, if you get it working in one spot, it will always work. But yeah, that's that. Here's some delayed versions. Actually, let's take this one, or these two first. These are also instant, but there's no real dust form output. You have only a piston output like this, and you basically just use a instant NOT gate to create the Certic with a piston, and that's a very easy way to make a Certic. And this piston can be, of course, anywhere, for example here, but then you need dust like so or something, but that will work as well. And this design is actually quite old now, but it is acting as a instant repeater as well. It'll instantly push this redstone block here and re-extend again, and when you depower it, it'll instantly retract, so it's an instant repeater. Very nice design. You can take an output from this block, same, and this design might not really be stable in bucket, so if you're gonna build this in bucket, you might need something like this to re-update it. Yeah, so that's a nice design. So anyways, here's some designs with delay, and this one is really easy. Powers this block, the same tick this retracts, and this is kinda interesting, because if I would invert these, for example, let's see if I can build this easy. Have the torch here and one tick here. This will not work, and that might be due to the update order of the pistons, how they react to shit. So you might need to fiddle around with it. I found it is easiest if the torch itself is powering the piston and the repeater is powering the block. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're gonna build something like this. But anyways, as it was, this design have an easy dust output. You have the dust output for a piston or anything. Let's see. Yeah, pretty easy. Okay, so here's some 1Y designs. Basically the same. Torch, repeater, also dust form if you want. Two ways of making it. Here's a version which you can repeat like this. One with a slab and one with a dust. So the block here powers this dust and repeats, and the slab is just so this dust isn't powering this piston. And yeah, you can get some funky stuff like a spamming trapdoor. Or I don't know, something cool. You can use your imagination. And yeah, so I think that's all the monostables I have to show. And yeah, time to talk about limitations. So you might think, wow, Zerotics, now I can make the fastest 3x3 in the world. So yeah, here you have a thing I tossed together, the fastest way I possibly could get this layout to do this, and let's see it in action. It is really fast, but this setup will never be faster than the old fastest 3x3. And the way to prove that is we can measure the speed it takes for this block to come here. So let's put a piston here and a piston here. So, and a repeater here on 4. And let's see. As you can see, exactly 4 ticks to put these two blocks here. Let's try it again. Yeah, exactly 4 ticks. I managed, or me together with Yoptropics managed to get this to 3.5 ticks due to some weird piston delay, and that design was not really stable. Yeah, so 3.5 ticks was the fastest we've managed, but that was on a server, not really stable. Yeah, so that's that. Here's a thing to prove that, if this is the door here, this one proves that it's just easier to use something like this. So here's 2 ticks and 2 ticks So, and this one will turn on after 3 ticks, so let's see. Exactly the same, so 2 pistons takes 3 ticks to extend, which is faster than any 0 tick would be. And you might think, why don't I 0 tick this one and this one? Well, I'm gonna show you why. So take this for example. Let's remove this, because we don't need that actually. So you may think, wow, now we can make a 12 piston extender extend it 0 ticks or double the speed of normal speed. Well, no, because when this piston have to push over 1 block, the speed of it will actually somehow convert into the normal speed. So basically, if I 0 tick this piston and 1 tick later 0 tick this position, it won't really register. So as you can see, this one didn't really fire. However, if it only pushes 1 block, like this piston is only pushing this block, the speed will be instant, and this one will be able to push. So if you look closely, it fired. And this is what I want to delay. And let's try it again. And this can even be instant. That's why I had that other setup. But yeah, it can be instant as well. And if you have a block here, it can actually do this. Yeah, so pushing over now, for example, this piston will not fire now. So yeah, that's the reason why it's super tricky to make doors faster. You basically need to make sure you're only pushing 1 block at a time all the time. And I think Sankarn told the Gunmaster you could like first power that one, 0 tick, then this 0 tick, then this 0 tick. A method like that, but me and the Gunmaster tried and it turned out to be impossible, we think, unless someone else proves us wrong. So yeah, that's too bad. Okay, anyways, that's that limitation. Another limitation is that if you have a 0 tick in dust form, it won't really activate buds, which can be useful for a door. Let's say you want to only pulse this piston but not this piston, you can use this, which is, I don't know, maybe useful in some case. So pretty interesting stuff there. And yeah, good to know. Here's a neat thing. I don't know, but just look. If you look on that piston head, it's going crazy. It's like detaching itself instantly. So this works by it 0 ticks this spot and this piston, and when this piston extends, it'll instantly retract the piston at the same tick, exactly the same tick as this one extends, which makes that weird animation. Interestingly enough, it only pushes but do not retract. Yeah, just some random experiment. This part is not really needed. It's just testing. So yeah, that's that. Is there anything else to say? Well, I guess that was all I had to show. I might have missed something, but oh well, this was just to show some basic stuff and them cool elevators. So if you like this video, please give it a like, and yeah, the world download will be in the description, and thanks for watching.